Well, hey guys, good morning. It is Brent Abel here, webtennis.com. And if you're looking to reboot, reset the old bod during the month of January, you were in the right spot. This is day 3, January 3rd of the daily reboot for January of 2021. Glad you're with me today, whether you're on the live portion or watching the replay. As always, thanks for hanging out with me and looking forward to helping you with the reboot, the body reboot. And it could be that you're looking to lose weight. Could be that you're trying to get quicker in the tennis court. Maybe you're trying to be the guy or the gal at 2.5 hours into the match, and you're just looking for, let's play 5 sets today. Come on, what's the big deal? Or maybe there's some other health issues that you'd like to see if you can't figure out this month. Those could be anything from a better night's sleep. For me, it's been all about reducing inflammation from all the tennis I play, all the off-court working out I love to do, riding the stationary bike or riding the mountain bike, whatever it is. And I'm going to kind of take us over to where we started on day 1. And really what we talked about on day 1 is, well, you can't even see that, can you? Sorry. Would help if I shared the screen. There we go. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, on January 1st, we kind of built this little list here is, what one thing can you eliminate for the next 31 days? And actually, if you think about it, for any of those health issues that you want to improve upon, you could choose one or more. My suggestion is choosing one for the month of January. My wife, Mai, and I have chosen alcohol to drop alcohol for 31 days, do the classic dry January. And, for me, that makes a lot of sense in terms of helping reduce inflammation. And so that's what we're doing. Other people are doing sugar. If you've been thinking about any kind of a plant-based diet, there's a lot of talk about plant-based eating the last couple of years. Even if nothing else more than, maybe cutting back, maybe just one night a week or one day a week, you have a little meat or chicken or something like that. That would be a good start. Dairy, caffeine, processed foods, wheat, bread, second helpings, right? And the book that I recommended was Dr. William Davis's Wheat Belly, which is really a very compelling, non-opinionated, kind of a science-based, I guess a science opinion, I don't know what's the right term for that, by Dr. Davis. Ironically, his daughter, Lauren Davis, is on the WTA tour. Tough little player. But that's really what got us, Mai and I got us off of trying to eat as little of the hybridized wheat that the agricultural companies produce for us these days. It's no bueno stuff. It's not great. So we started that several years ago. And then yesterday, we talked about a book, which I'm going to show you here in just a second, called Atomic Habits by James Clear, written a couple of years ago. And one of the things we talked about yesterday is your outcomes are a lagging measure of your habits. And this is one of the things I talk a lot about to tennis players, is that once you start deciding you want to make a change, maybe it's a technique change, could be a tactical change, whatever it is it's not going to happen like that. And it's going to be one of those things where I have to do this with my own game. If I'm working on tweaking something, the outcome that I want from that tweak is not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen right away. It's going to be a lagging measure of whatever habits I create. And that's the thing that we're to talk about today is, rather than thinking about goals, there's a better way to think about the outcome you want. So today what I want to talk about, guys, is you don't rise to the level of your goals. Instead, you fall to the level of your systems. And that's another quote from James Clear in Atomic Habits. Let me do this. I'm going to bring myself back here. Let's see. Myself back on there. Stop the screen. And there we go. Okay. So here's the book. Atomic Habits by James Clear, written couple of years ago. Spectacular, spectacular book. And I want to actually put this up here, which is, you do not rise to the level of your goals. Instead, you fall to the level of your systems. And so, look, I mean, goal setting is great, right? I mean, so whatever let's take, for example, weight loss. Let's say that you want to lose 10 pounds. Great goal, right? Let's say you want to lose more. Whatever that number is, that's a goal. But if you don't have the right system in place, the day-to-day right system of how to make that happen, your goals are just that. I mean, they're just kind of out there, and you don't really have a method, a daily method of operation of how to get there. So the whole quote is just, I mean, just hit me right between the eyes in terms of, you can have a goal, but you don't automatically rise up to that goal unless you've got a system that's going to take you there. And as I said earlier, one of the things in a system that might help you do that in terms of losing weight is, what's one of those things that you could eliminate for the next 31 days out of your diet? And look, I'm not saying that this is going to be forever, right? I'm assuming that Maya and I will probably have a beer or a glass of wine or a beverage at some point down the road. So I'm not looking at this thing for the rest of my life. I'm just looking at it for the next 31 days. Now, look, when we dropped eating red meat and chicken, and we're not 100% plant-based, but pretty darn close. We did it initially because I wasn't feeling great. Now, this was a couple of years ago, January, February of 2018, not feeling great every time I had a steak or every time I had a burger or whatever it was. For a couple of days, man, my system just felt like, man, I kind of feel sick. And so we kind of did a little deep dive, did a study, watched some documentaries, read some books, did this and that, and decided, why not try it for a month of just not eating any meat? And so after 30 days, you know what? And look, I'll be the first one to admit that the first 10 days, couple weeks, maybe a week of that, let's go ahead and not do it. It was kind of a white knuckle situation for me, where I'm just going, man, I mean, the cravings, and especially, right? You go outside for some reason around 6 o'clock at night and you go, wow, God, someone's barbecuing out there. Oh my God. And so the cravings would get kicked in. And yeah, I probably white knuckled it for 10 days, 2 weeks. But eventually after that, the cravings went away. And after 30 days, I felt so much better that I said, look, you know what? Let's go for another 30 days. I never made the commitment to say, well, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. I just said, let's go for another 30 days. Well, after the second 30 days, I felt even better than I did after the first 30 days. And look, as a tennis player, for me, it really paid off. I mean, the last 2 years, from March of 2018 until March of 2020, when we got shut down because of COVID, I've had my best results as a player, singles and doubles, than I've ever had over my entire senior career. In terms of winning national titles, being on, the last 2 World Cup teams from my age group. So what I'm telling you is that it's fine to have a goal, but you got to have a method, a daily method of how you're going to reach that goal. And it's a system, right? So you got to build a system. And I'm telling you, this book, I would highly recommend that you pick up Atomic Habits by James Clear and let him teach you about systems and how they work. Super doable, super easy to understand. I don't articulate this stuff, obviously, as well as someone like James Clear. So I highly recommend the book, Atomic Habits. And I just think that, I mean, there's so much great stuff in there, that if there's a goal that you want to achieve, that this has got a method to help you do that. And look, we all try to figure this stuff on our own, kind of like tennis. I mean, forever I tried to figure out the game of tennis on my own. Didn't work. I got a little bit better, but I was, kind of on this little yo-yo, up and down, never really got to the goal, where I wanted to take my game until I got some coaching, right? Until I got some coaching. And over the years, I've just said, hey, look, I mean, other guys have been where I want to go before. Why wouldn't I talk to that person? Why wouldn't I totally dive in? Well, it finally kicked in for me. Never been accused of being the sharpest tool in the shed. So that's my recommendation for today, guys, is to embrace this. This statement is that you do not rise to the level of your goals. Instead, you fall to the level of your systems. If you got a lousy system, I don't care how great your goal is, you're never going to get there. And if you got a great system, the chances go way up that you're going to be able to achieve that goal, whatever it is. And I think the way to get there is this way right here, is to pick up that book. All right, guys, where are we? We're about 10 and a half minutes into it. Look, so I'm happy to help you, right? Whatever help you want in terms of, if you want to send me a direct message over at Facebook, you can do that. Let me know what you're working on. I'd love to know what you're working on for the month of January. Maybe there's one thing you've picked out that you want to eliminate, and I'm happy to be your accountability partner, right? In terms of, if you're dropping something, a favorite thing that you know is not great for you, but that you're going to have to white knuckle the cravings for the next, I don't know, week, 2 weeks, maybe the entire month. And sometimes it's, and I do believe that whether it's weight loss or anything where you feel that you're giving something up, you feel like you're depriving yourself of something, well, that's just natural, right? And I think we all go through that for a while. And then eventually it starts to become, a habit, which is a system. And once you develop that, then it turns into a lifestyle. And that's what happens. That's what's happened to me and in terms of how we eat, what we don't eat. It's now become a lifestyle. And we're not perfect. Mine's a lot better than I am. I'm probably, 92.5%. She's around 99%, but pretty darn close. And it's all become a lifestyle now. And I would never go back just because I feel way too much better. Let's see if we got any comments here so far. So, okay, good. Look, and the other thing too, as I mentioned yesterday, is I do take some organic plant-based superfood supplements, right? Not necessarily a diet, but supplements as we know them. And they've really helped me for the last 8 months get off of ibuprofen. Right? I was taking 2 or 3 ibuprofen every single day to knock off the systemic soreness and all the inflammation I had in my body, just so I could go out in the court and be able to, whether it was play a match, whether it was just drill, whatever, or maybe go out and, ride the bike. I was having to take 2, 3 a day. And look, it worked. It worked, right? It's a miracle drug, ibuprofen, incredible. But I think we'd all agree the long-term effects, it's just not a great system. There it is. It's not a great system. It's not a great solution. So I got turned on to these plant-based supplements 8 months ago, almost 9 months ago. And within 10 days, 2 weeks, I was done. I've not had to take one since then. And so for me, that was a big deal. So my question to you is that, or I guess my statement, let's see how this ends up. Is if you feel like you need help with inflammation, if you need help with recovery, and look, a lot of players take it. A lot of players are taking ibuprofen after they play as a way to recover. No bueno, man, just not great. If you want a suggestion, a recommendation, I'm happy to tell you. I've got a list. It's a few things I take on a daily basis that really help me. I'm not going to say totally, but practically eliminate all inflammation that I get from all the activity from tennis and working out. If you want to know what I'm taking, just go ahead and hit me up. Direct message me over at Facebook, or you can shoot me an email, brent@webtennis.com. Happy to send you what it is that I take on a daily basis. Guys, with that in mind, again, always love to hear from you. To read what's going on. And again, this month especially, if you want someone there by your side, I'm your guy. Let me know. With that said, as always, come on now, guys. You got to get out there today. Help someone else have a spectacular day. And guys, I will see you again tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out.